Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
It's another hot afternoon across the state line where temperatures are feeling a couple degrees warmer than they actually are when you factor in the heat and humidity that we're seeing. Temperatures have reached the low 90s in a couple spots, including getting up to 92 briefly in Rockford, but we're currently sitting at 88, though it feels like 92 at the present time. 87 in DeKalb as well as Rochelle and Sterling, 88 in Savannah, 85 and 84 above our southern Wisconsin counties where they are a little bit on the cooler side. We've seen a couple of boundaries though along some outgoing storms that have been actually developing just to our south and a lake breeze, and along those boundaries we may see the chance for some isolated instances of some funnel clouds that will likely not reach the ground, but at least that chance does exist for some of those areas, especially along the lake breeze. Into the night tonight though, temperatures will continue to fall back down into the mid 60s for many of us, leading to another chance for some patchy fog. Another warm afternoon tomorrow, but we do have rain and storm chances on the way. I'll time out when we could see those, along with a cool down on the way, coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Walking for a Cause, the anti-gun violence peace march, hoping to spread awareness, organized by those most affected by gun violence. Plus, NBA champion Fred VanVleet continues to give back to his home city. This time, he's focused on preparing kids for school. And going back in time, a local museum takes us to America a century ago.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 6.
Hello everyone, I'm Jess Lipson. Thanks so much for being here on this Saturday evening. In the city of Freeport, anti-gun violence awareness was at the forefront. A walk filled with those affected most by gun violence took place. Our Blake Dietz was there.
None of these kids needed to die, should have died. They should be here. My son was only 24 years old when he was killed, just starting life.
Chants of enough and love in this city rang out throughout Freeport as victims of gun violence, community leaders, supporters, and police came together for an anti-gun violence peace march, culminating with 4 mothers sharing their tragic experiences.
My son was murdered November the 18th of 2021. Now, this is the first time I've ever been able to talk about my son in front of anyone. I can't even talk about him to anyone because I break. And I'm doing this because I want justice, justice, justice. Please put the guns down, Freeport. They're killing our kids.
I lost my son June 19th of 2020 on Father's Day.
It's very hard for me to talk about my son. Like, I would never be the same again without Tweet. I don't understand, man. I tell you what.
Freeport resident William Brown spent over 20 years in jail on charges stemming from gun violence. Now he dedicates his time to ending the violence, leading a nonprofit and events like the Peace March. Brown says it takes the entire community reaching out and supporting young people.
To me, there's no way that you can sit silent when this is going on and not do anything. To me, complaining without action is just useless words. So I had to be able to do something and get active. We need more resources here. Job opportunities, job training opportunities, build apprenticeships, things, business, financial literacy, emotional intelligence classes, things like that. Those are the things that create an environment where gun violence becomes acceptable. So if we show them an alternative, they'll be susceptible to it.
Marvette Brooks says she hopes sharing her son's story will inspire others to act.
All of these people that loved him more than I do, I can say, but he just was a great kid. He was a great person, and he was a great dad.
Reporting in Freeport for your home team, I'm Blake Dietz.
Nearly 1,000 Rockford kids will have what they need for school thanks to NBA champion Fred VanVleet. The VanVleet Family Foundation held its back-to-school kickoff. All kids in the area were welcomed as backpacks and school supplies were handed out. The event took place at Auburn High School, where there was a bit of a party for all students who came out, including music, food, games, and more.
This is your basic needs for getting back into school, and it helps a lot of families out that don't have or that don't have enough to last throughout the school year. And one of our other sponsors, the Salvation Army, they give us toys every year, and we bring the kids through and let them pick out their own toy, and it's really neat for the kids to see that stuff and get that stuff. So.
Crusader Clinic was also in attendance as they offered beginning of the year medical needs. They conducted school and sport physicals along with dental exams for students that needed. Ever wonder what life was like around 100 years ago? Yes, I'm talking about the Roaring Twenties. Well, today the Midway Village went back in time a century, a chance to immerse yourself in the world of the Roaring Twenties. Speakeasies scattered throughout the village as those who stopped by learned about the Prohibition era. There were vintage cars, bank heists, bootleggers, gangsters, and anything else from the 20s.
It really brings history to life. It gives people a chance to see how life was in the 20s. We have a lot of exciting things about the temperance. We have some raids that go on with the police raiding bootleggers. We have some moonshiners in the woods. It's really a great day. It really brings history to life. You can come to Midway Village and have a first-hand experience about what it was like in the 1920s.
Anyone in attendance was encouraged to dress in their 1920s garb. The annual event brings many of the same people year after year as they improve the Roaring Twenties experience each year. It's fair season and the state line has been filled with them all month. One wraps up tomorrow, the Ogle County Fair. The gates will open at 7 a.m. and wrap up at 4 in the afternoon. The schedule is set with Junior Goat Show starting things off. The rides will be going off with plenty of vendors still out there. You can also still head out there today. Events will be ending around 10 p.m. tonight. A lot has happened with the presidential election over the past few weeks. After the break, we get an update on how the race is shaping up.
Our temperatures made their way to the 90-degree mark for only the second time in more than a month. We might get close to that mark again tomorrow, but we do have to talk about some rain and storm chances on the way soon. I'll break down the timing of those coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Jess Lipson, Drew Collins, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Former President Trump hits the campaign trail this weekend in a state that will be key to victory. This as his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, makes history and narrows down her choice for a running mate. ABC's Chuck Severson has more.
Former President Trump and his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, are holding a campaign rally in Atlanta, Georgia this evening. Trump narrowly lost the state to Joe Biden in 2020, and the polls indicate a tight race between him and Vice President Harris. Harris made history as the first black woman and Asian American candidate to lead a major party ticket. That moment during a virtual DNC Vote Friday, weeks before the DNC in Chicago. Harris calling in to mark the occasion.
And as your future president, I know we are up to this fight. And when we fight, everyone will say in unison, we win.
The vice president saying she'll officially accept the Democratic nomination Monday when the virtual roll call concludes. It was less than 2 weeks ago President Biden announced he would not continue to seek a second term and endorsed Harris. She's the only candidate in half a century to become the nominee without receiving a single primary vote. According to 538, she's up 1.5 points over former President Trump in the national polls and closing the gap Biden had against him in key swing states. Sources say Vice President Harris plans to meet with some top VP contenders in person this weekend, including Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. ABC News has confirmed he, along with Arizona Senator, retired astronaut Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg are being considered. Biden says he's weighing in on the talks.
Have you spoken to Vice President Harris about her running mate?
Yes. Harris, whose decision is expected in the next few days, plans to hit 7 battleground states in 5 days with her new running mate starting in Philadelphia Tuesday. Chuck Severson, ABC News, New York.
The U.S. is beefing up its military presence in the Middle East. The Pentagon announced yesterday that it will move a fighter jet squadron to the area and maintain an aircraft carrier in the region. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says they're also planning to send more land-based ballistic missile defense weapons and increase protection for U.S. troops in the region. The move is in response to threats from Iran and its proxies to attack Israel as revenge for the death of Hamas leader this week. As of now, the Pentagon is not deploying more military units to the Middle East. Well, it was a hot day out there with temps reaching the 90s. When we return, Jordan will tell us if it will stay this hot and the chance for possible rain on the horizon.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It was a pretty warm day across the state line. Many spots actually making their way very close to, if not above, the 90-degree mark, and that included in Rockford, where we reached a high temperature of 92 degrees. 89 in Sterling as well as in Freeport. 90 the high temperature so far in Janesville. 88 in Rochelle as well as in DeKalb. Specifically in Rockford, 92 degrees is only the second time in just over a month that we've actually seen that 90-degree mark. The last time that we hit there was the end of the month of July, and then we also hit that mark again into the later part of the month of June. It's still pretty warm out there even late into the evening right now. We're at 88 still in Rockford, 85 in Rochelle, 87 in DeKalb as well as Sterling, 88 the current temperature in Savannah, 86 in Galena. But it is still feeling a bit more humid with our dew points in the upper 60s and low 70s for many of us, has led to those temperatures feeling a couple degrees warmer than where they actually sit. Throughout the afternoon, we've not really looked at much in the way of rain chances, although we did have a few spotty showers developing along a boundary just to our south, and now we have another boundary actually coming in from the north. So the boundary to the south was actually along a lot of drier air that's south and west of us, and the boundary to our north and to our west right now actually very evident with a lake breeze that's coming in. Along that lake breeze, we may see a few isolated funnel clouds develop. The conditions are still pretty ripe for that. We have just enough, a little bit of spin in those lower levels of the atmosphere with the boundary nearby that we may see a few of those funnel clouds that may develop. These are very unlikely to reach the ground. If they do, they would likely be very, very short-lived and not really producing much in the way of damage. We can actually see that boundary overhead of our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera in Poplar Grove, showing off the Poplar Grove Airport there. We see a little bit of that cloud cover, and this is along that lakefront breeze that we actually see. A couple of those towering cumulus clouds off in the distance, and we may see a chance for a funnel cloud to develop along there. Out to the northwest, though, we're not really seeing much in the way of cloud cover out there. Just a few fair weather cumulus clouds and fairly still conditions with our SkyTrack camera in Freeport, brought to us by the Rockford Career College. Into the night tonight, where temperatures are not going to fall very far at all. We hold on to relatively mostly cloudy skies as we only fall back down into the mid-60s for many of us. It'll still feel a fairly humid feel to the night, and that continues with the trend as we head into tomorrow. We warm back up to 89 degrees, a relatively hot afternoon once again, and still a chance for some isolated storms, especially the later into the day that we get and during the overnight. We go to Futurecast now and kind of time those out for us. We have at least a chance for some patchy fog into the night tonight with that still humidity remaining in place. Not really much in the way of cloud cover throughout tomorrow, but we'll call it a partly cloudy sky during the afternoon. Once we get into the late evening, we see a few of these storms developing to our north and to our west that may drift our direction overnight along a frontal boundary. That frontal boundary will at least be very close by to the state line, if not slightly to our north. Along that boundary is going to be where we see most of that shower and storm development occur. If that boundary ends up staying to our north, we likely stay dry through the night on Sunday and even through parts of Monday as well. Notice that boundary is to our north there for the parts of Monday afternoon, but at least nearby we will continue to have some storm chances throughout Monday afternoon and going into Monday evening. During the overnight hours Monday, I think that boundary does come a bit closer, and this will be our highest confidence for any storm threats that we may have. And in those storms, we may even see some isolated instances of severe weather, although we will have some capping in place despite that being the overnight hours that may limit how much of that severe weather we end up getting. So specifically for Sunday, the highest severe threat still a marginal risk out to our north and to our northwest. But for Monday, it does include most of the state line here, including Rockford for that level 1 out of 5 or a marginal risk for some severe weather. We also are going to see a decent amount of rainfall. Along that frontal boundary, we may see some decent amounts picking up anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in a relatively short amount of time through the early parts of Tuesday. Right now, I think that threat is going to be further up to our north, but nonetheless, we may at least see that sink a little bit closer to us, which may end up bringing some heavier rainfall to some of our southern Wisconsin counties. So we are still at 89 degrees for Sunday, 87 for Monday as the low pressure system with that front passes almost directly overhead. That does cool us back down on the back end, also ending our threat for any relatively scattered showers there on Tuesday, but a cool down and relatively drier air as we head through the majority of the week ahead.
Thanks, Jordan. Drew's in next with sports. He'll give us a recap of the heartwarming Hall of Fame enshrinement of Bears legends and how a Cubs meltdown could affect team chemistry.
Now sports. with Drew Collins.
What a special day it was for Bears fans. 3 former Bears were officially enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame today. None was sweeter than Super Bowl champion Steve McMichael. Steve is fighting for his life, dealing with ALS, but that didn't stop him from receiving his gold jacket and bust. Because of the severity of his ALS, Steve wasn't able to attend the ceremony, but instead the ceremony went to him. He celebrated this event in his living room as the gold jacket and bust was presented to him and his family. Meanwhile, in Chicago, his sister spoke on his behalf of his message to all his fans.
Be a lot more fun, I shall say, and if it was him actually giving the speech and what he would say, because a lot of the times he speaks from the heart. So let me just read it because it says, "Hey Chicago Bears fans and Mongo fans, woohoo! I'm in the Hall of Fame, baby. I want to thank the Hall of Fame, the Senior Selection Committee, the Chicago Bears, and all the fans. The best fans in the world and the best city to play football in."
We also saw the great Devin Hester receive his jacket, the first special teams returner to ever make the Hall of Fame. His 20 touchdowns is the NFL record. I don't think that'll be touched in a long time, if ever. This is what he had to say.
I accepted my calling that God had in store for me. And by me embracing it, it made me the best returner to ever walk this face of the earth.
Forget former Panther, Packer, and Bear, Julius Peppers. He played football and basketball at UNC in college and then was drafted by the Panthers. Julius played 17 seasons and he currently sits 4th all-time in sacks in the NFL with 159 over the span of his career. Julius had a lot to be thankful for, and this was part of his speech.
You can be a Hall of Fame dad, a Hall of Fame student, teacher, spouse, coworker, friend, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you do, do it with respect, integrity, passion, resilience, dedication, and gratitude. That alone will make you a Hall of Fame person, and you too can have a legacy that lives on forever. Thank you, and God bless.
The Cubs lead the Cardinals in a series, and the Cubs had a hot start today at Wrigley. Michael Busch with the homer would give the Cubs the early lead. PCA sends this ball out to the corner, which would extend the Cubs' lead 4-2. The Cubs continue to look good early, but a disaster of a play up next would kill the team's energy, and they would crumble cookie. Cardinals rally late and escape with a 5-4 win. Cubs can clinch the series with the win tomorrow. The White Sox game just kicked off moments ago. Garrett Crochet will try to break the record of 18 straight losses. That's sports. We'll be right back.
I mean, it's so nice out. We should get the football and go out back after the show, I think.
Well, the good news is, though, that we have a lot of sunshine. The bad news is we're still dealing with the humidity, so we might need to have some water if we're going out and hanging out outside any longer. But I know sometimes we'll go out and have some dinner out there at the picnic tables outside of our station. So, but if we do that, might need to make sure that we have some water handy.
Got to stay hydrated, huh?
Exactly. Hydrate or dehydrate. That's what we say.
All right. Yeah, makes sense.
Well, we're going to have to deal with the humidity at least one more day. We're going to have a lot of the warmth sticking around, still a lot of sunshine, but partly cloudy skies for tomorrow. So a little bit of an increase as we head through the night tonight. We're still going to hold on to those partly cloudy skies on the First Warn Interactive Radar, brought to us by Rockford Glass and More. We are going to see at least a chance for a couple of isolated funnel clouds here into the evening along a lake breeze. Our temperatures are going to drop back down into the 60s overnight tonight. We could see some chances for patchy fog into early tomorrow morning. Another hot day tomorrow. We're back close to 90 degrees for Sunday. A chance for some thunderstorms that may develop late into the evening and overnight hours that may persist then into Monday as the low pressure system moves overhead. But the good news is that we are underneath a cooler stretch as we head through Tuesday. High temperatures on Tuesday, only 75 degrees and remaining in the 70s and low 80s the rest of the week.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you tonight at 10.